Warrant Officer Justin Simons from the Royal Electrical Mechanical Engineers. I'm from Swansea in South Wales, and I'm currently a serving soldier, and I've served 24 years service to date. My medals are for the first lot are for the Balkans, which includes Kosovo, Macedonia, former Yugoslavia, and United Nations peacekeeping in the early days in the 90s. And then moving on to more recent conflicts, Iraq and certainly Afghanistan. When I do leave home, I do think about how difficult it is on my family and my loved ones. The fact that they are actually thinking that I might not come back, and in some respects I think that myself I might not come back, and it is quite a difficult line, or a difficult pill to swallow for the families. However, the way that I get through that is I have a sense of pride representing my country and do my duty. Communication during the Great War must have been very difficult, and I think that the main form of communication was certainly what pen and paper, writing letters to loved ones, and what was portrayed in the press. Yes, I do write letters, as do most of the the men of the and women of the British forces. However, we do have access to telephones and more recently internet alike. The memorial plaque, commonly known as the Dead Man's Penny, was given to the families of lost ones during the Great War 1914 to 1918. And in total there was roughly 1,350,000 of these memorial plaques given to families of lost ones. I have experience working in various different climates, Arctic and also hot weather climates, and the work is very difficult. I couldn't imagine how difficult it must have been in World War I with the lack of machinery that they had in comparison to what we have these days. We've got a hell of a lot of machinery these days, whereas in World War I it was everything was pulled around with horse. With the horses we used to pull the guns in extreme conditions, and also these days in comparison we have heavy equipment, heavy machines, heavy trucks, and that's what pull our equipment, and if not they propel them to their own steam. You can only imagine how difficult it must have been for life in the trenches. Regiments were spending months and months without a break in a trench system, with the rain, very, very difficult, with a cold, trench foot, disease, very difficult times. The thought and the knowing that one day, your regiment, your time will come to be called and over the top of the trench and do your duty. In the Battle of the Somme, for example, after one day's fighting, there was 57,000 Allied troops lost in one day's fighting. And later on down the line, the roughly 4-month conflict, there was 600,000 Allied troops lost a life. Likewise, 500,000 German lost a life. The sounds of war, myself, I find re-jog in my memory quite a lot, actually. The sound of machine gun fire, bombs being dropped, artillery pieces firing, a multitude of different sounds that I will live with me for the rest of my life. The homecoming street parades are second to none. That immense feeling of pride, knowing that you've represented your country, you've done your job to the best of your ability. There's nothing I would have done differently, and I would do it all over again.